for The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Glad you're along for the ride. The new drug today is Ryan O'Halloran is back for 2 days. How are you, buddy?
Wasn't I just here?
You were just here. Listen, once you get in once we get you in, never let you out. You're trapped forever is what happens here.
I had lunch with Hayes yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was he looked well.
Yeah,
he's enjoying his staycation.
I was with him earlier before you saw him, and he does. I said, but you're working too much. Go to the pool, get drunk, something. So he's just kind of hanging out. But yeah, it is a staycation. I was with him a little bit as well. All kind of fun things to do today. It's going to be a busy day today. Our friend Lee Smith stops by at about 4:20. He is he's our golf analyst and of course the executive director of the Players Championship. We look forward to having Lee stop by in just a bit. That's going to be fun. We got a Duval County Scholar athlete coming in about 4 minutes from Atlantic Coast High, so that's going to be a lot of fun coming up as well. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about though. I said this on the air yesterday. I love the Travis Hunter discourse. At no point did the Jags ever say he's not playing offense, but somehow that narrative floated out there. Was it Rappaport or Schefter? Or what did you tell me yesterday, JJ, that somebody else said it and they retweeted it? Or
oh man, now I'm forgetting.
I know, but it was something.
Wolf. Cameron Wolf. Cameron Wolf.
Yeah, that's
was
what it was
originally reporting it.
Saying that he's not going to play. What do you make of all of that? Now, I'll get your opinion on what they should do later. What do you make of the story?
I thought yesterday was completely ridiculous on every level. It's almost like they're trying to appease the player and they're trying to pander to the fan base, trying to justify the trade.
You think the Jags are?
Yeah, 100%. Because they know what's out there. They wanted to change the narrative because they knew what was out there the last couple of weeks, how people didn't think they had a great draft. So they changed the conversation. They moved over to Hunter. To me, is if they want to control the message on Travis Hunter, they should have been more upfront about it instead of saying, well, it's going to be based on need and you just look at our depth chart. Why don't you just come out 1st of January saying, if this player is healthy, we see his role is to be determined. And right now, all we've been speculating about since they drafted 2 tight ends is they're going to play heavy personnel, 12 and 13. Well, who's he going to take snaps away from? I mean, if it's 2 receivers out there, it's going to be Myers and Washington. I just think they've lost. I think they've sort of, the shark has jumped here. And I think what it feels like to me, and people will disagree with me on this, it doesn't feel like player and his camp are on the same page with the organization, which surprises me because it's the only thing, it's only the only chink in the armor right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence of that. I haven't heard. What I've seen, again, I'm a Homer guy, so I'll preface the disclaimer firmly in place. I'm the voice of the team, and I tend to be the Homer, but it is my opinion. I think they're saying exactly what they've said all along. I think from day one, not day one, but day one of the new year, day one of year 2, they have said, listen, we're not gonna talk about deployment yet. Let's get him healthy, and then when he comes back, we expect him to do both. Now, common sense says we have a need at cornerback now when we don't think we did last year. And last year we had a need at receiver, which we don't think we have this year, which is kind of common sense, right?
Well,
I mean, didn't that common sense?
Yeah, I mean, their activity during the offseason at corner with re-signing Buster Brown.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that gives them some flexibility there. If they think he's their best corner, then you should play 100% defense. How's it going to look if he is playing great at corner, all of a sudden, well, we must play him at offense a little bit.
So you think, see again, there's 2 conversations. One conversation, what should they do? And the other conversation is what's been discussed. Again, I'll be a Homer guy, I guess, here, but I don't think they've said anything different from not from day one when they drafted him, but I mean, from the minute this season ended or last season ended, I think they've said the same thing the whole time. They've said, let's wait to decide on deployment. But our big picture understanding is he's going to play both.
Well, I did get a kick out of NFL Network today. This has been the plan all along. Well, hell, 2 months ago you said he's playing only defense.
Well, that's my point. Is they haven't wavered from whether you agree with what they said or not. They haven't wavered. They haven't wavered one time from what they've said. They've said he's going to play both. They've said, Ryan, they've said he's going to play both since the day they walked to the podium. Mm-hmm. And I don't. To the Jags' credit, they've said so. Anyway, I got a kick out of, you just said it. Somewhere along the line, NFL Network said he's only playing defense. That's the funny.
Well, and last thing on that before we welcome our scholar athlete is for Jaguar fans out there, you do not have to believe everything the national people say.
Right. Well, that's
trust us a little bit. I mean, I know
that is a great point.
I know we're hayseeds here in Jacksonville.
That is a great point. Time now to welcome in our scholar athlete.
Hey, let's go!
And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
It is time for our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. It is Georgia Wicker from Atlantic Coast. Hey, Georgia.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's talk all about track and field. You've been involved in it for the longest time. Tell me how you got started running the whole bit.
So in 8th grade, my history teacher was the track coach, and she was just kind of recruiting people. And she said, come out, try running. And I ended up falling in love with the sport because a bunch of my friends were doing it. And it was a great place not only to work out, but fun community.
All right, so tell me everything you're involved in. You pole vault.
Mm-hmm.
What other? Tell me every event.
I have done a lot of events through my time in track. I've done 100, 200, 400, 4x4, 4x1, pole vault, long jump, triple jump, javelin. I've done everything, pretty much.
Wow. Ryan, sounds like you. Those were all your events back in North Dakota, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, the track and field season in North Dakota was 10 days long. But you mentioned the pole vault. What was that first sensation of being upside down, holding the pole? And did you like it right away?
You don't get upside down your first try, I will say that. You work up to it, and it's scary to start with, but you kind of just start getting like muscle memory, and it's like any other sport. You just you get excited. You don't get scared anymore. You're just like, yeah, I'm ready to pole vault, you know?
my closest friend, the best man at my wedding, was my roommate in college, and he was a decathlete.
Oh, yeah, so they do pole vault, too.
He did them all, and then he went on coaching the jumping events at Bishop Kenny and JU, and so... But I always ask the same question. The pole vault looks scary. It's all bent and stuff, and you're like looking up, and so did it freak you out the first time you did it?
I not really. I mean, like, you kind of just have to go for it and not really think about it a whole lot. You just have to. It's less scary when you don't think about it. It's more scary like when you think, oh man, like I'm gonna be upside down. Just don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah, I would have to not think about it. I think not thinking about it is probably a good idea.
So you set the school record.
Yes, I did.
How many was your first shot at that, or how many chances did you before you cleared the bar on that one?
It's taken me. I mean, since my freshman year, I was working up to it. I broke it my junior year, so
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what was the number?
It was 9 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about your director of communications for National Honor Society. Tell me about that.
So I do the social media for our National Honor Society, and I just really enjoy being creative with the posts and getting to communicate with the members and the officers and everyone. I like kind of just being like the middleman. Like people come to me, and I like trying to figure things out. It's very fun for me.
Very cool stuff.
You're accepted to South Florida, UNF, UCF. Where are you leaning?
I'm actually committed to the University of South Florida.
Okay.
Okay. Tell us about why. Why USF?
Well, I want to major in environmental science, and they have a very good environmental science program down there. And I actually have a teammate whose mom's brother, I believe it is, she has some connections with environmental engineering down there. So there's good opportunities down there.
So what do you wind up doing? What do you want to do?
I want to do like research, environmental research. I did environmental based AP research project, and that really kind of got me into the field. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So
what a neat thing.
I mean, you look at these academics here.
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah. I didn't know, Ryan. I didn't know if that was yours. Yeah, Hayes and I used to add ours up.
Oh, this is,
and we weren't even close.
Add it ×2 for the big guy.
So you're right. So you fit right in with us. So, Georgia, when do you leave for school? What's the whole plan?
I believe I start August 24th.
Yeah.
So around that time is when I'm going to be going down to Tampa and start living there.
Excited?
I am very excited.
All right. Well, Georgia Wicker from Atlantic Coast is our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Fantastic student and very good in all those track and field events. What's your favorite event? What's the favorite one?
Pole vault, for sure.
Okay, I
yeah.
figured that. Even though you're looking up, I get it. Georgia Wicker, our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Georgia, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Georgia Wicker is our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. It is great to have her in. Congratulations to her. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll say hello to our friend Lee Smith. He is the executive director of the Players Championship, and he's our golf analyst. That's next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Green Bay Packers.
This is Hall of Famer Jerry Kramer. Has a nice ring, doesn't it?
They won their fourth under Vince Lombardi.
And you're listening to 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate them. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers, they care about this community, and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnickchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harold & Harold. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harold & Harold comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harold & Harold at 251-1111.
He used to lay the lumber on the field.
No, I'm not a quarterback, but I like eating quarterbacks for breakfast.
Now he lays his opinions on Jaguars Today. Tom McManus. Fridays on 1010XL. Opened by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. You know, my whole family was impressed with the closets we got from Closets by Design. And I'm confident that any mom would love her own calm, organized space from Closets by Design. They design solutions for every lifestyle and budget. Call them this week to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off, plus another 15% off and free installation. Don't wait for mom to do it. Call now, 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Here it comes
on 1010XL.
All right, it is time to talk a little golf. Our buddy Lee Smith's here. He's the Executive Director of the Players Championship and our golf analyst, Frank Frangie, along with Ryan O'Halloran, filling in for Hayes Carlion today. How you doing? Good to see you. How's it?
Doing well. Doing great. It's beautiful day outside, and finally we hit a little 90.
Warm weather.
Yeah,
I love 90.
A lot of that Bermuda grass around town. Everybody that
I love hot.
plays golf on Bermuda grass is everything's going to start growing and thriving and mowing, and golf courses love it.
And I told people, anybody that hated the cold as much as I did, cannot complain about hot. You're just not allowed. You can't complain about it. Did you hate the cold? You grew up with the cold.
I grew up in the cold.
I freaking hate it. I hate everything about it. I want to move to Key West. Hey, let me ask you this. We talked a lot about the live thing last week, and obviously that's the story that continues on. What do you think of where DeChambeau's headed? What did he say yesterday? That if the live thing breaks down, he wants to expand his YouTube channel. Did you see this story? You saw it, right?
Well, what he's coming off as, Lee, is he wants to return to the tour on his terms. Yeah, that's not how it works.
What do you think about Bryson DeChambeau?
I would go back to when he started, and he, probably I remember a story when I was the general manager out at TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas, and him playing in the event, and I think he might have been on his third caddy that year, and he just kind of wore people out with his. He was tinkering. He was a practicer. He was, data driven. He obviously did it his own way as far as playing golf. And then obviously as he went to a competitive tour, I think he obviously recreated his brand, became extremely popular, and I think brought a lot of fans along with him. Not just on his YouTube channel and content creation, which I found entertaining, hitting it over his house and breaking 50 with celebrities. And certainly a lot of people on YouTube, follow that. And I think what maybe is underestimated is the growth. We talk a lot at the PGA Tour about the momentum and ratings and sponsors and everything, and all of that is true, and you see a lot of momentum. But off the golf course, the game of golf, 48 million people that participated last year, 29 million I think of those were on course. It was only a 2% growth from prior year. But it's like a 40% growth in the last 6 years, since COVID. But a big segment of that growth has been in content creation, and the YouTubes of the world and the influencers, and Bryson's a big part of that, and really kind of leads the charge of that's where his popularity is. And certainly, whether it's the kind of the growth of the game tag that a lot of people have, he's certainly excited, and I think wants to Ryan, as you said, is kind of do it on his terms in a lot of different ways, and it'll be interesting to see what he does next.
Tours back at Quail Hollow this week. Rory back on the course. He's won there 3 times. I'll preface this by saying his game fits every course, but what specifically about that track fits him in this weekend?
Yeah, it's a you can't understate that as being, I think, one of the golf courses in the United States, especially, that is built to host big time tournaments, and not just in a 7,600 yard layout, from tee to green, and it being kind of a big ballpark, but the infrastructure, service roads and surrounding parking lot, they've built it, kind of like a football stadium is built. It's built to host big games with a lot of people around. And I think that type of atmosphere is really what fits Rory best. To your point, from tee to green, his game fits a lot of different golf courses, but I think just the bigness of the atmosphere, the bigness of the facility, the bigness of the tournament, that's I think really what gets Rory fired up, and the opportunity for him to win there. It's hosted major championships, it's hosted President's Cups. Obviously a signature event like this that's really, really big. I think those are the things that get him fired up.
So to that end, what are your expectations for him? I mean, obviously the PGA's next week, Shinnecock's around the corner, the Open. I mean, this is the stretch. Quail Hollow's this week. What do you expect? Is he going on a heater? I mean, what do you think?
I would suspect that because of what he's done the last few weeks, which is kind of rest and I'm sure grind on his game, but kind of do it at his pace. And when he wants to, and the familiarity of this golf course, obviously Aronimink next week, is a golf course that's hosted an event recently. So there's some familiarity there. And then the signature events to Pat, I think this is just going to be a great stretch, I think, for all the superstars.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge Fleetwood fan, and
I think Fleetwood's so good.
I think you're going to see the Fleetwoods, the Fitzpatricks, the Schefflers, the Cam Youngs, the McElroys. Like their names are going to be up at the top. Come Sundays.
Cam Young since February 7th, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 25th, 1st. Are we going to look back maybe a year from now saying his win here catapulted him?
Yeah, I mean, you hesitate not to think that, right, Ryan? The fact that we 2 years ago we shared Scheffler with Augusta winning. Last year we shared McElroy with Augusta winning, and I think this being in the ecosystem of the biggest golf tournaments in the world, I think provides a level of confidence to play the rest of the year that with the biggest prize, with the best fields, on as challenging and as iconic of a golf course as TPC Sawgrass is, I think it only just provides a significant amount of individual momentum and confidence that, I've seen a lot of people talk about, hey, who's Scottie Scheffler right now? Forget about how many accumulated points over the last year and 2 years that puts him in the number one. What's your ranking of the best players in the world right now? And I think everybody has the same four with Fitzpatrick and Cam Young and Scheffler and Rory, but a lot of people had him in a different order. Is Cam Young the best player in the world right now? And it's kind of hard to argue, especially over the last 4 or 5 months.
We talked about this last week. I'm being another homer because it's our event and it's the event we care about. But there's something to this. When you win that dang thing or play well in that thing, I don't know, Lee, whether people get confident because of it, because of all the adulation they get. But it's not a coincidence anymore that when you leave freaking Ponte Vedra, having played well or won, you get going, man. I'm not smart enough to know what it is, but I've watched enough now. I mean, even all of them. Like we talked about, we almost had 3 straight Players Masters back to back. What is it? What is it about? Because there's clearly something.
Yeah, I think ultimately I don't think anybody would argue that, we are one of the 5 biggest individual golf tournaments in the world.
No question.
And I think are we a major championship? Are we not? I think that's for others to determine. But the fact of the matter is this tournament starting in March, and then March, April, May, June, July, you've got the 5 biggest golf tournaments in the world, 5 consecutive months. And I think the qualifications around the Players Championship of a venue that matches and can stand up to that level of tournament, a field that can stand up, that that if you're holding the trophy on Sunday, you've beat the best players in the world. Certainly the aura and the atmosphere that the fans provide and the build provides, and it just feels different from most other tournaments when you walk on. And so I can only imagine, obviously I've never had that feeling, but I can only imagine that walking off with that trophy is that if I can win this tournament, there isn't a tournament out there that should scare me.
PGA next week, Justin Rose won at this course, but it was 16 years ago. I mean, in your conversations with players, can he still pull something from that at age 45 to win a major?
And it wasn't with McLaren golf clubs. I don't know if you saw that a couple of weeks ago, but he's switched equipment to playing McLaren.
I did not.
Golf clubs now. Yeah, look that up. McLaren has now gotten into the golf business. So I think that'll be a question that you'll probably see in a lot of his press conferences is. At the age that he is messing with the momentum by switching equipment and doing those types of things. Is that going to be a hindrance? I would say that nobody is putting at that level is putting equipment that they haven't significantly tested, for 6 months or more to feel very, very comfortable, regardless of maybe the paycheck that comes along with it. But I think what a great story, Ryan, is for him in his middle 40s to be able to contend in the highest level of events. I wouldn't put anything past him. I mean, he's I've said on here, he's a guy that travels with his own fitness bus. And so if there's anybody that is putting in the work to maintain play at that level, I think it would be Justin Rose, and certainly a guy that I would think would contend pretty much anywhere he plays.
I just pulled up the top 20 players in the world right now. He's the only one. He's the only one at that age.
Yeah.
There's some 28s, some 33s, some 32s, some 36s. But there's nobody like that.
So, I mean, that's the greatest thing about our sport, right?
Yeah.
Is that, with a couple of a couple of examples like the Bradys and LeBrons in other sports. But I think the great thing about the PGA Tour and golf in general is that 21-year-old can come down the stretch competing with a 45-year-old on a level playing field. And it's always a lot of fun to watch and great stories to tell.
What are you seeing in everyday golfer guy now? Is the you guys have a lot of players out now? I mean, is the stadium busy? Is it more or less same?
Yeah, no, it's very active. We're kind of approaching. We close. Usually June of every year is kind of our maintenance closure.
I didn't know that for the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when we'll do a lot of those nips and tucks. This year, we're doing a little work on hole number 4, and doing some work on 15. That'll be a little bit of competition, but mostly kind of fan and player travel work, and how they kind of their journey around the golf course.
What are you doing on 4?
4 is will be some work on the right side with the lake over there and kind of an expansion of that, and being able to neutralize the dirt that we'll use for that for some other areas.
Okay.
That'll be a lot of fun. Really, holistically, the hole won't change all that much. But it we're always looking at ways. Hey, as the amount of fans on site continues to expand, where do player walks go where they interact with fans, and is there tight squeezes and different things that we're always trying to touch on the golf course to improve the experience all the way around.
I've told you I love watching 12. I think 14 is the hardest holes. As a player, 4 is like my favorite hole. I love it. Short. I can get there. I love 4.
It's great hole to watch. I always encourage. I think you've let the cat out of the bag on 12. Yeah. That is one of your favorites to sit and watch. But I always thought, if you've done the 17 and the 16 thing and have found all the energy, but you want to get to a place that's exciting, I think 4 is great. Scotty holes out there on his way to victory. Yeah. I think the year after Hal Sutton won his last one, he holed out there twice in 1 year. That green's just fun to watch with a lot of slope, and they're hitting wedges in there, so it's dancing around the hole. It's and then there's great seating and great vantage point, for the fans to watch on number 4. So it's always a cool place.
I wonder about that everyday golfer compared to tour player. Like for us hacks, 5 and 7 are so stinking hard. 6 isn't, but it's got the tree. Do they feel that way too, or is 5 and 7 easy for that? You know what I mean? Does that question make sense?
You're talking about tour players?
Yeah, anybody.
I think tour players are stepping up to number 4 with I need to hit something in the fairway, which will give me a scoring club opportunity to get a legitimate shot at birdie. I think the regular player, anytime you see water that I have to carry, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a point.
and whether they hit the fairway or whether they hit a good tee shot, even if they're left with 150 yards, it's like I have to carry the water.
That's so true.
And forget about how much slope's on the green and what I'm going to be left with. I just need to get it over the water. And so I think it's a difficult hole, especially you drive it left in the left rough, and you get kind of a blind shot and a lot of things. So I think there isn't many holes there that aren't difficult.
Well, that's
I think for the common golfer, that's for sure.
We mentioned Young and the other guys, but with this major league, is there a guy who would be a guy or two who hasn't won a major that would be on your radar that say, hey, he's playing well enough to really break through?
Yeah, I would. Certainly it would be hard not to pull the the Fleetwood card out to say that he's riding the momentum. A guy like Chris Gotterup who's had a lot of success. I also think, and he's been playing a lot and not, but I really think Victor Hovland at some point will put it together in one of the biggest tournaments in the world. I think he's too good. From a long game standpoint, that his chipping and putting will cooperate, 1 week, and he's contended in a couple of these, coming down the stretch, and I think he might be a guy to watch.
It seems like for Hovland in some of these majors and big events, he doesn't go backwards. He just sort of spins his wheels a little bit. Is that sort of the last mental hurdle?
Yeah, it always feels like it, right? That you put yourself. I think you spend those first days to put yourself in a position to play well on the weekend, and to your point, whether it's shooting even par, regardless of golf course, shooting even par or a couple over, just right around the scoring average of that particular day. Guys are too good out there to that's one of those things, like you're going 65 on the highway. You got a pretty good pace going, but there's going to be a lot of people blowing your doors off.
It really is. We have this talk every week. It really is amazing how many great players there are. I mean, Victor Hovland's 26th in the world. 26th. We know what a great player he is. Akshay Bhatia, who we just saw get off this great start, is 24th in the world. It's amazing. If you go through the top 10, 12 guys, it's guys we talk about coming down the stretch on Sunday. It's amazing. It's amazing how many good golfers there are now.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. I mean, and they're coming from everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
They're coming from European countries. They're coming from college programs. They're coming from, you would go out, if you ever get the opportunity, even just go out and watch a couple hours of the Junior Players Championship on Labor Day weekend, and you'll see plenty of kids hitting at 300 yards that are 16 years old. There's a ton of international players that play in that junior event. We've had, I think last year we had over 30 that had played in the junior players, within the last couple years, that were in the Players Championship field. Yeah. Akshay Bhatia played in the junior players as an example. Just the churn of talent that when a 45-year-old, like you mentioned with Justin Rose, decides that it's not for him anymore, they're going to be replaced by a 19, 20, 21-year-old that's won 6 times in college and expects to win on the PGA Tour right away.
Yeah, I never thought, Ryan, I knew every other sport that a young man who's 38 is an old athlete. I did not think golf would go there. I mean, 20, 30 years. I did not think we'd come to a day in golf where Justin Rose would be the only 40-something competing with chances to win.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you that it went there? That surprised me that it went there.
Yeah, I think the only thing that wouldn't surprise me is that speed has become such a vital component in golf, and the fact that if you got to swing the golf club 125 miles an hour to contend from a
great point.
And distance has become such an important component. I think one year, and I can't remember the year, but and I haven't seen this stat in a while, but it was like of the top 70 in driving distance, they were all in the top 100, and when you looked at the top 70 in driving accuracy, they weren't anywhere close. Like the focus has shifted on speed and length, and I think that's where if you don't keep up with it into your late 30s and 40s, you get passed by pretty quickly.
Well, that's it. I mean, the Players Championship was won by a dude that hit a 375-yard drive to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, that'd be like a drive and a 9-iron, I think, for me.
I mean, think about that. He had a 375-yard drive to win the Players Championship.
Well, we're off topic. We're spoiled here with this event. All the big names here, but my brother's going to go to the 3M Open this summer because Scheffler committed to the first time this week. Can you speak to what kind of impact just that one player can make on that event in Minneapolis?
Yeah, absolutely. Great golf tournament that is the 3M at TPC Twin Cities. Not always the greatest date on the calendar, and because it's tends to be right before and right after international travel with the Scottish Open and the British Open. But they've always done a really good job of attracting 4 or 5 real headliners. And doing it the right way. That golf course, usually it was a Champions Tour event before. Now it's a regular tour event, and somebody like that especially hasn't been there in a while, will bring out the local fans to say, hey, I want the opportunity. It's kind of like when, what do you want? Another sport, when the Dodgers come to town, is like, I may not be a fan of who they're playing, but I just want to see Shohei. I need to see the best player in the world of that particular sport. And I think when given the opportunity, especially in your backyard, a guy like Scotty Scheffler certainly moves the needle on an event like that.
Lee Smith is the executive director of the Players Championship. Our golf analyst will be picking a major winner next week. Lee, thanks for the appreciate.
Yes, sir.
Back in a moment on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beard's Diamonds? The team at Beard's has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beard's makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beard's. Beard's Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Yo, E.T. here. And you know that on the field, preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at EncoreDocs.com.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Out here, we hear your speed before we see you. Wind that rocks us.
Cars drifting toward us.
This isn't just a road, it's our workplace. Slow down.
Keep your distance.
Stay focused. Your choices matter.
Let's get everyone home safely.
Learn more about the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative at WorkZoneSafetyFL.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
I sure appreciate my friends from Stanley Pools. Talk to Greg Stanley today, as a matter of fact. He's going to do a little work for us coming up. 904-269-7277 since 88. They've been the best. They build pools. They service pools. They build your backyard, your screen enclosure, the pavers, pergolas, you name it. They're really good. And Greg's as good a guy as there is out there. You can trust my friends from Stanley Pools.
I learn like 2 or 3 things every time Lee's in here.
Same.
Like even when I'm listening in the car.
Yeah.
You know, the Quail Hollow thing was fascinating to me about Rory. He's a big game hunter.
Yeah.
So it's a major type atmosphere that gets the juices going.
Yeah. And Lee's one of my really good friends. But beyond that, and he's an outstanding executive director of players. He's the best golf analyst I've ever been around. Just to hear, I mean that very sincerely. Lee understands the game, but also how to explain it to guys like us who don't play like those guys do. So no, I totally agree. You ever play golf? You ever played?
I haven't played since I was in college. You could play for free at the Kansas State course.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what I don't get is you hit 5 bad shots, you hit 1 good one, it makes up for it. I never really got into that. But also I've worked in upstate New York.
Yeah. You're right. The B-back is great, by the way. You hit that good shot in 18, you're miserable. You're freaking 17, 18 over. It's the worst day of your life. And then you hit that one right down the middle on 18. You're coming back. You're coming back. So you're exactly right. That's how golf is. I want to go back to the Travis Hunter thing. I want to go back to you. I want something you said because we got in a hurry a little bit there. Regardless of what they say, I'll say to you, I think the Jags have been consistent in it. I think the NFL Network people, I like Rappaport and those guys. They do a good job. But they said something that nobody ever said, was that he wasn't going to play one side of the ball. He wasn't playing just one side of the ball. You think he shouldn't play both ways? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I mean, my lean right now is if you think he's your number 1 corner or number 1A corner with Brown opposite him, then that should be the focus right now. And you cannot give him time on offense either in practice or meetings or games if it impacts his play at corner.
Okay.
That's my
I get
rationale.
that.
And one thing that me and Hayes have talked about on and off air is, have him establish that one spot first.
Yeah.
That he is, can stay healthy, can be very effective, and then sort of piecemeal the other stuff with him because.
Well, that's my guess. What you just described is my guess. I'm guessing that will be the roadmap.
And then, so to me, that I think that's where I would criticize the Jaguars' messaging is, two-way player, you can, okay, the knee-jerk reaction on a two-way player is he's going to play 150 snaps a game. Of course he's not going to do that. I'm just interested how they're going to deploy him if everybody else is healthy.
My guess is, remember, now you say 12 personnel, so you don't need him on offense. Well, it's a 17-game season. Not everybody's going to be healthy. And you also have, you guess that 12 personnel is fine until you're down 31-10. Well, then you're not playing 12 personnel. So I think there's a lot of circumstances. He played 305 plays on offense last year and 154 on defense. It was 305, 154. My guess is going to be, and again, I think they've been transparent. They said, listen, he's still playing both ways, but common sense would dictate because of our depth chart, he's going to play more defense.
JJ, please get that clip where Frank says, if they're down 31-10, I'm supposed to say that, not you.
But you know my point. If you get behind.
That would obviously be after they clinch the number 1 seed.
That's right.
The rest of the
and
starters.
they're not playing anybody.
Yeah.
But my point is, I really do believe that this year he will be the starting cornerback opposite Monteric Brown, and will play every down there, and will go play offense 9 plays when you need him. That's I'm guessing. And I don't think they've said anything that is not transparent about that.
I think they should probably be more clear about that. And the comeback will be, well, they don't know that for sure. But I think if I was them and I was advising them, my answer would be, hey, on this depth chart right now, we feel he can be an elite corner right away. What does that mean for him on offense? We are keeping all options open. That's
haven't they kind of said
well,
that?
Well, to me,
I think
people aren't listening.
Yeah. Well, okay, and that's
we're listening.
Yeah. So. I think they kind of have said that. So, all right. But it's an interesting dynamic. When we come back, I want you and I haven't gotten to go through the draft. We haven't done a show since they've done the draft. I want to. What do you like? What did you not like? Who did they get that's good? Where do you see their roster now? Because I got a lot of other stuff in hour 2 I want to get to. I want to ask you about the 24-game college football playoff. I got a lot of stuff I want to get to. But let's wrap the Jaguars after the break. What do you think about their draft and how their roster stands right now as we get ready for a mini camp this weekend? This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Engines roar and tempers flare.
He'll make the move. They're crashing behind him. Elliott's in the wall.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen.
They're wrecking everywhere.
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010 XL.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Explore the mind of a quarterback with our QB guru.
We want to take you into the lab so you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer, driven by George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on The Drill on 1010 XL.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Have you tried a Form Energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes, screaming free to Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form Energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph is a known name when it comes to beautiful rides on the road. What is the latest from Triumph?
Well, if you didn't come, we had an unleashing at the dealership last week. We saw 6 new models from Triumph, anything from 400 cc's to 1200 cc's. If you're looking at a bike, you got to look at the new Triumphs.
Experienced riders will love it.
And the inexperienced will love it. We've got something for everybody in the Triumph lineup. Great, great motorcycles.
Showroom waiting for you. Triumph. Find them at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the ViStar Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get 1 free ticket with 1 paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's Grease Night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a Pink Lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get 1 free ticket with 1 paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks!
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring is a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just 1 dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
904-269-7277 for the best pool company in town. They've built our pools, renovated, they still service it. My friend Greg Stanley and the people at Stanley Pools are the best in the business. Frank Frangie along with Ryan O'Halloran. He is here for Hayes Carline. Hayes is back in next week. JJ LaSelva with us as well. Let's wrap the Jaguars here. The draft, what stood out, what jumped off the page, where's the roster as you see it today?
Yeah, I'll start off by saying, the consensus board, I'd never heard it until this year.
I hadn't either.
I hope I never hear it again.
Yeah, same.
When you don't have a pick in the first 55 and you have one pick in the top 80, you're not going to get a great grade, period.
Yeah.
That said, I talked to a couple people in the league since the draft and say, hey, what'd you think? How'd you guys make out? What'd you make the Jags? And, basically the consensus from those people is everybody was reaching.
Yeah.
Especially on day 3, because the draft was terrible. And so that sort of defends that. But also, they said, hey, some of the guys have some potential. They probably just picked them early, but that's their prerogative. And one thing I wrote was they're operating from a spot of luxury. Is they didn't paint themselves into a corner and say, we need to draft this guy to start right away. Even if we have a 3rd round grade, let's take him at 50. So I think that's where that sort of says what the roster is. But there's going to be some guys here. They're not all going to make the 53, but there's going to be some guys who are going to help this team.
I will tell you,
right away.
It was hard for me, Ryan, and because there wasn't a 1st round pick. But I'm not a draft Nick. I don't have a value board. But usually the high picks, I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I said this, CJ Henderson and Derek Harvey and Taven Bryan, I didn't think they were going to be good players because I watched them in college. I thought Leonard Fournette and Jalen Ramsey were going to be really good because I watched them in college. I haven't seen these guys. Now, Borkashire and Regis both played in the SEC, but I don't remember them. So you know what I mean? Usually there's an Alabama, a Florida, an FSU, an LSU, guys that I watch a lot, a Tennessee guy. So it was hard for me when I've seen none of these guys.
And what's interesting is when they drafted Borkashire, we asked Pete about him.
Yeah.
And Koziel.
Yeah.
Because he was on their better list.
Both of them were.
So that gave me a little bit of a foundation to say, okay, because Pete was saying, hey, you didn't get a lot of chances to catch it, but he at least could handle himself as a blocker. All right, that it made sense.
Yeah.
If you're a willing and want to blocker, they can teach the route running a little bit.
Yeah.
So that part, and Regis, okay, they needed to draft defensive tackle, they did. They needed to draft tight end, they drafted 2. They needed to draft an edge, they drafted 2. They probably needed to draft a receiver, they got 2. So I think they hit the positions, and then they addressed running back and undrafted free agency. So, Regis is going to get a chance to play in rotation. Pregnon, if he outplays these guys, he's going to play him.
He's the one, by the way, the value boys, the consensus boys. He's the only one they liked. I think Pregnon might be really good. All the value guys loved him. All the consensus boards. I think he's got the hardest chance.
Yeah,
I think he's the longest. I think he's the furthest away from impacting them because of their depth at that spot.
Yeah, and to me, keep an eye on Husky. He played nickel, then moved to safety at Maryland.
And 11 interceptions.
11 interceptions. When I asked James Gladstone, I said, how much did that jump off the tape? Yeah. He says, a lot. He goes, it wasn't just, these were really athletic plays. Does that open up them to play more dime?
Well, see, great point. Because what they got is, and I told Mike this, I was on with Mike and Tony, what I like, I don't pretend to know these guys. I hate, I can't say hate enough times, the traits over productivity stuff. It drove me freaking crazy that you run the 3-cone real fast, so we're going to draft you. I hated it. Well, for what it's worth, Husky had 11 interceptions. Williams blocked 5 kicks. Hughes had 100 tackles last year. Koziel and Cameron, their catch totals the last 2 years were in the mid-hundreds, right? So that doesn't always translate, Ryan. I get that. But all those guys were productive college players, which mattered to me.
And, sometimes I take traits to mean something different. And you look at a guy like Williams from Duke. He had 7.5 sacks 2 years ago, but then 2 last year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure, when they're watching the tape, did they see the traits of an effective pass rusher, regardless of the workout time? So that when you get into this part of the draft, you're having to project. Yeah. And to me, with Regis, he had 3.5 sacks in 50 games. But was he creating stuff for other guys to clean up?
Him being 6'1" bothered me. Now maybe he's Ed Oliver. There's some short guys that can do that, but there's not many. There's not. There's There's not many Aaron Donalds out there. Okay, you saw Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
He's 6'1". So, but I that worried me. But I was also told he's 295, but he played about 315 or 320. He lost weight to run better, and so he'll play heavier than that. But that concerned me a little bit. I do hope they have enough good running backs. I if I'm being honest, I hope they have enough good running backs. They love Chris Rodriguez, I can tell you that. But they don't have a running back on their team that's been an NFL starter. That I hope they have enough. And frankly, I hope they have enough. I don't know what they have at safety. You know, the Ransaw's never played in the league. Antonio Johnson had a fantastic year, but he kind of emerged.
Yeah.
So there's a few spots that I'm curious about.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Ransaw. It's a classic case of a guy's legend growing when he's on the sideline.
Yeah.
And so
he might be. They think he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, but it's great that you spent the year learning the defense, but you haven't been on the field even through a whole training camp. So there's going to be the adjustment to him there. To me, if I'm a Jaguar fan, I don't want them to be done yet at the edge spot. And there's going to be guys sitting out there in June 1st.
Yeah.
And, hey, let's sign this guy, get him into town. He's not going to practice during the mandatory minicamp, but just, hey, get his feet wet so he's ready to go late July. I think adding a veteran edge would really make a difference.
Here's what I wonder about that. They added 2 last year that didn't help them. Smoot and Ogba, neither one of them helped them. Ogba was no good. Smoot was sporadically good. At the end of the year, Strigo and B.J. Green were ahead of both those guys. So that doesn't mean you don't do it this year, because I hear you. I kind of agree with you. But you know what I mean? I wonder if they've gotten the 2 draft picks this year and Strigo and Green. Now, they're all kids, but I wonder if that would dissuade them a little bit from going and getting a veteran guy.
Well, I want to say Strigo was on his way last year. He just couldn't stay healthy.
Right, that's right.
He had one thing, then he had another thing.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player, though.
Yeah, that derailed him. B.J. Green right now is a third-down player. If they move Trayvon Walker inside, you can say Green can maybe create an impact that way. So, so that's sort of my thing. I'm a little wary of that depth there on the end, especially if you plan on playing Walker. Experiment with him inside on third down.
Yeah, same here. And how do you feel? They feel good about their running back spot, and I trust them. That one worries me a little.
Yeah,
that spot worries me. Bayshore Tootin, I guess is RB1 here, Rodriguez, but that one, I think they've got a really good roster, and I think they're going to have a really good team. I'm not being Homer guy. I think they're a Super Bowl contender as we sit here right now on May 7th. I believe that on my heart. But there's a few positions that I wouldn't mind, to your point, them addressing.
Yeah, and I think Rodriguez is going to be your week 1. First and 10 from the 25. But he hasn't had a lot of work either. He's pretty inexperienced, even though he's been in the league a couple of years. So to me, it's all about splitting that workload is great in theory, but I still want a guy that you can really count on.
Yeah, me too. But
keep an eye on the Jamari Taylor kid from Virginia. He's 5'9".
And they like him.
He's pretty productive. I mean, Tony said with the guys in the morning that, they thought nobody drafted running backs late in that day, so they just waited.
Yeah, they like him. So we'll see. But I like their roster. I like where they are. And again, I'm always glasses half full. And again, I look, after 17, Ryan, I thought in 18 they'd be really good, and I was wrong. After 22, I thought in 23 they'd be good. I'm always that guy. I admit it. But this vibe does feel different for me. It really, really does.
Yeah, I mean, I was gone in 18, or I was in Denver after the 17 season. Picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The 23 team got off to a good start.
8-3.
And got injured.
Yeah.
So then, they didn't handle that adversity very well. So this team, it totally is a wait and see that, when the schedule does come out, it's going to look awful.
Yeah.
Because they're just not going to have a lot of home games.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to manage that. And, but I will say this, and this is going to sound like in the tank guy. I believe in the head coach. I think he's going to paste over a lot of warts.
He's really good, isn't he?
And I think he really keeps guys, his play calling, and what I liked about him late in the season, he second guessed himself in front of us.
Yeah.
He felt he did not stick with the run enough on a couple of occasions, even though it was running into a brick wall. So I think he'll be even better in year 2 creating matchups.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's really good, very transparent as well. Let's take a break. When we come back, other things to get to. I want to get to the potential 24-game college football playoff schedule. I want to see your thoughts on that. I got some baseball questions to ask you as well. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I suppose the most obvious question is, what is this?
I believe it is our fate to be here. It is our destiny. It is
1010XL.
There's no better way to heal that foot and mouth problem than by sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. If your foot gets stuck in your mouth, extract it with a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers for over 75 years.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Our next event at Showtime is hosting James Spence Authentication this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. JSA will certify your autographed items. JSA inside the store this Saturday, 11 to 3. It's Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA? Who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now, to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Come away with me.
That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Halt & Sons Plumbing. The Florida State Seminoles and Georgia Bulldogs have mutually agreed to cancel their home-and-home series for 2027 and 28, but plan on scheduling a neutral site matchup. This weekend, the Florida Gators baseball team will be hosting Kentucky with the series starting tomorrow at 6:30, then Saturday at 4, and Sunday at noon. It's 91 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
They do it all for you. The pools, the pavers, the screen enclosures, the pergolas in the backyard. They can do it all. They service pools, too. They've been servicing ours forever. Our friends at Stanley Pools, 904-269-7277. Frank Frangie along with Ryan O'Halloran and J.J. LaSelva. Hayes Carline returns next week. He's had a week of vacation. He's kind of hanging out, having a little bit of a staycation. The momentum, Ryan, seems to be now headed toward that 24-game college football playoff that the Big Ten was so in favor of. It took an interesting turn, went to 12. Most people thought it was going to 16. The SEC joined the masses in pushing for 16. The other conferences have kind of allowed the Big Ten and the SEC to decide this. The Big Ten drew a line in the sand and said, no, we want 24 or bust. We'll allow 16 this year if you promise to go to 24 next year. The SEC said no. And, I mean, it was a standoff, right? And so because it was a standoff that they wound up staying at 12. So I thought at the time, okay, the Big Ten, they got their way. They were stubborn. They took their ball and went home. They'll get to 16 by next year. I think most people thought that. All of a sudden you blink, and now everybody wants 24. What do you think of that so far? And did that momentum swing surprise you?
Well, the coaches planted their flag in the ground this week.
They really did.
Writing about that for Saturday in the column. And I like the elimination of conference title games. You can make up that revenue in other ways. The scheduling part, no Saturday to Thursday. I like that. I like one bye week, but let's go to the big one. Maximum number of playoff teams. Well, that's obviously 24, and that's job security.
Yeah, JJ and I talked about this yesterday. So, it's clear why the coaches want it. The coaches want it so you don't get fired. Yeah. I get that part.
A couple points on this one. Would Greg Sankey be pressured into dropping this fight? I wouldn't think he'd be that kind of guy, but would the money just be so overwhelming that he would say, hey, I don't like it, but I'm going to accept it?
Well, he's going to acquiesce to his presidents who have asked him to acquiesce to his coaches. They didn't love the 5-11-16 plan, which is 11 at large. Sankey didn't like that, but it is a year ago in Destin at the coaches meeting. The coaches wanted that, so he acquiesced and went to the 16. So, yeah, we'll see. I think we're headed to 24.
Yeah,
I think and I'm like you, and JJ and I had this conversation with Hacker yesterday. I never worried that going from 2 to 4, 4 to 8, which we never stopped at 8, but 4 to 12, I never worried that it would destroy the regular season. I thought it would make the regular season less tragic, but still important.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe people will always pay attention to college football games because of the nature of them. But I do worry now that the regular season, and I've never believed this, but if you get to 24, it's watered down too much. I don't like it.
Yeah, and preparing for the show, I found a mock 2014 bracket. Fox did it if it was last year. First round matchups: Virginia versus Utah, Arizona versus Vanderbilt.
Ooh.
Pitt is a 24 seed. Navy's a 21. Duke, okay, they got in.
Yeah.
Michigan is a 20. Who knows who had been coaching their team at the time. So you hit the phrase is watered down. Is it the first 2 rounds on site? To me, it's not that first weekend would not be interesting to me. I'm more, if I say, hey, what's your choice to expand? I like 16. But it's when do you start the season? I think the real problem I have as an observer is you can't go so far into January where you're going head to head against the NFL playoffs, because the NFL playoffs dominate the conversation for the entire week. And so what is the way where you can start the season? Can you play the first round of games on Thanksgiving weekend? Then, I don't care about the student athlete part. They'll take their finals via Zoom or whatever if they're on the road. So, but yet, what is to me the watered down part is we have not had a lot of good first round games under this 12-team format. Yeah, it's not going to be very interesting to me the first weekend.
You could have 16. You could start on week 0. You could eliminate the conference championship games. You could start playing in the week that was conference championship week, you could still be done by January 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they should do. And honest to God, I thought that's what they were going to do. JJ, I think until this week, maybe. I think this week is when I thought the Big Ten would cave, right?
I because of the backlash that it's received, the 24 that is.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually like a little bit happier than I was yesterday because I can't find a single person that is
that's the thing.
Involved in college football that supports this.
Yeah, now
I'm talking it's a consensus across the board, which in college football is the most rare thing ever, but no one wants this.
Yeah, and by the way, nobody wanted 76 in basketball either, and it just pretty much passed.
Yeah.
But that's a different conversation. That doesn't affect the big picture nearly as much as this is. But I tell you, having said that,
and it's not nearly as big a sport,
right?
As college football.
Yeah, that's right. And again, you're affecting teams 68 through 76, not teams 16 through 24.
True.
But I think it's passing. I think we're gonna have a 24 team tournament, and the beauty of 16, by the way, it's clean. There's no buys.
Mm-hmm.
You just go play. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets a buy. You don't have to argue about who got the buy. You don't have to argue. It's 16 is very clean. There's no play-ins. There's no buys. I think that's one of the reasons I wanted it.
Would an 8-4 Florida team get into a 24-team playoff?
I don't think there's any question.
It'd be a lock.
I think an 8-4 Iowa team gets in. I think that's why the Big Ten wants it so badly.
I saw a 2018 season where they took the top 25 or top 22, whatever it's going to be, 24.
24, yeah.
There was 6 teams with 4 losses, 1 with 5. That was Northwestern, who had lost to Akron that season and Duke at home.
Wow, and would have been in the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I think with 24, then that last week of the regular season, you got to start sitting guys.
Exactly, and that's the most important week of the season.
And we talked about that yesterday. That, of all the things we brought up, and JJ, you brought that up yesterday, of all the things that's the crime. That's the tragedy, is Florida plays Florida State and nobody didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the...
Or they, even if they do play, they know, we could lose.
That's the hallmark of what college football is Florida playing Florida State. That it's Michigan, Ohio State. That's what, I mean, you kind of watch all year for Michigan, Ohio State, right?
But to me, you move Florida State to week 0 then.
Yeah. But they won't do that.
No.
But so anyway, it'll be interesting to see. I will tell you, I understand that everybody wants to be like the pro league, whatever sport you're playing, but I have truly enjoyed over the years, and I love the NFL. I'm an NFL play-by-play guy. I'm about to start my 13th year doing it. It's the greatest assignment in my career. But I've loved how different they always were. I loved the fact that when I'm a kid, NFL's dropping back and throwing passes, and college is running the veer and the wishbone. I loved that. I loved that there's marching bands and real cheerleaders but boy, oh boy, it feels like
real rivalries.
Yeah, real
which we don't have.
No, we don't. And the offenses now are all the same. So everybody's got the RPO. Now the college and pro offenses are now the same. I never thought we'd see that, but they're now the same. And interestingly, the NFL came back to the college thing a little bit. So, I don't like the feel that college is going to feel too NFL like. I guess I don't like that.
Yeah, and you're going to really get it to the extreme that first weekend of a 24 team, and then I think that second weekend is going to be pretty watered down as well.
I do too.
Because those teams are going to be rested. They're going to be playing at their home stadium, and after that, the other thing I wondered about is once they start going to these neutral site games, you got your well-heeled boosters who are going to go to Timbuktu if they're playing in a semifinal game, but what about ticket sales?
Yeah,
I mean, are they going to be playing in full stadiums at neutral sites? I don't think so.
And I am somebody, because I'm old and I live in Jacksonville, that I care about the bowls. Mm-hmm. What in the world does this do to the bowls? Do they have to? I know everyone says go play preseason. You almost have to now. Yeah. I mean, what happens to the Gator Bowl if there's 24 teams in a tournament?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and if the Gator Bowl is still behind the Outback and the whatever, it was devastating. It'd be devastating.
They're gonna have like teams with 4-8 records in bowl games.
I mean, I tell you what, you'll start having what used to be big bowls with 500 teams.
Oh yeah,
you really will. So I hate this. All right, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna talk baseball. You like baseball?
Let's go.
All right, so let me tell me right now before we go to break, on the World Championship Twins team, give me the lineup.
Brian Harper, catcher, Kent Herbeck, Chuck Knobloch, Greg Gagne, Scott Leyes, platoon with Mike Pagarulo.
What about Steve Lombardozzi? Was he on the bench?
He's 87.
Okay.
This is 91, their
Okay.
last title. Dan Gladden, Kirby, Shane Mack, Chili Davis was DH.
Look at that, huh? How's that?
I love Chili Davis.
87?
87 would be Herbeck.
Give me Lombo. I'm just trying to get Lombo in the lineup,
Herbeck,
okay?
Lombardozzi, Gagne, Gaddy, Laudner, Gladden, Puckett.
Okay.
Maybe Randy Bush in right
Pretty
field.
dang good. That's pretty dang good. We'll take a break. Let's talk a little hardball with Ryan after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you're not a member of the Guggen Nation, there's room for one more. Your move. 1010XL.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
All right, here we go. Jacksonville summer is around the corner, and the heat is bringing the pressure early. Your AC takes the field. It's trying to hold up. But wait, warm air, weak airflow. The system's in trouble. Time to make the call. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Experienced AC techs, honest pricing, and they'll get it done right the first time. And here's the play right now. Take $500 off the total price of a new AC system during the Memorial Day promotion. That's how you stay cool and win the day. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
M stands for the month of May and Mom. 1010XL helps you say thanks with gift ideas from
Kuhn Flowers and Beards Diamonds.
Get great Mother's Day gift ideas now at 1010XL.com.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beards Diamonds? The team at Beards has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beards makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beards. Beards Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Harold and Harold. You know, I don't just talk about Harold and Harold. My family has trusted them. Holt and I actually go way back. We went to school together. Over the years, I've recommended Harold and Harold to my own friends and family because I've seen firsthand how they treat their clients. It's what they call the Harold Promise. You'll be treated like family, and they'll always work to make sure you take home more than they do. If you've been injured, call Harold and Harold at 251-1111.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Big Chief Tire makes getting new tires easier than ever with the Big Chief credit card. There's no annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, even $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything at Big Chief Tire. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and let Big Chief help you get back on the road with confidence.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here, and let's talk skin. Beaches Dermatology reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Summer's almost here, gang, and that means more time outside. You're grabbing the clubs for your tea time. You're heading out to the boat. Just headed to the beach. Definitely bring the sunscreen. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up, so get your lady a gift card for some skin care. We know women love their skin. Beaches Dermatology, give them a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Hey guys, Coach Campo here. We just left Tony D's Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295. My wife is still raving about the eggplant parmesan. At Tony D's, it's more than just pizza. I'll see you there.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf. And there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jax. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools. Call them today at 904-269-7277. They do it all for us. Frangie, O'Halloran, La Selva with you. You're a Minnesota Twins fan growing up, right?
Yeah. By the way, the listeners are probably regretting missing that conversation during the break. We were telling JJ our war stories,
our prep stories. Poor JJ had to listen to covering preps. I loved covering preps. I said when you covered a prep game, you do the Reigns White game the night before, and you turn it in, and then the carrot was the next day. You got to ride along with the Florida beat guy and write a sidebar at Florida Auburn. I mean, that was the greatest thing ever.
That's what I did with K-State. Covered preps on Friday night, 11 a.m. kick next morning.
How many people do you know, and how many of your Florida friends do you know that have been to both the Metrodome and Target Field to see baseball? How many do you got?
I'd probably say
you're looking at one.
I would say just you.
Are you looking at one? Okay, I've been to both. Okay, by the way, Target Field's fantastic.
Never been there.
Well, that's ridiculous. How have you never been there? I should yank you off the show right now.
Right?
It still should be there.
It's pretty. It's
that's
no
ridiculous.
Excuse, but
there's no excuse.
But I mean, the first outdoor baseball game, I was 18. I did make it to the first outdoor game. I was 18 years old at Camden Yards.
Okay.
We just went to the Dome.
Yeah.
So
we
go down for a week at a time in the summer. And
okay. Well, Target Field, if you ever get there, if you're not too damn busy, you'll love Target Field. It's absolutely fantastic. All right. And maybe you're more of a baseball fan than I let on, so you may not be as good a candidate for this as I thought you were going to be. But JJ and I are such diehards; they could do it. They could play baseball on the moon, and we'd watch every night. Okay,
They literally do play in a cornfield once a year,
and we watch that too. Yeah, so we're that guy. So I ask people all the time that aren't quite as crazy as we are, do you like where baseball is going? That's from 10,000. I'll get in the weeds in a minute, but from 10,000 feet, do you like where the game is?
The 10,000-foot answer would be yes, and for this very reason. Pace of play.
Yeah.
I am not going to commit 3.5 hours to an old Red Sox Yankees game like back in the day. I looked at the game times for every game yesterday. You had 4 under 2.5. That's what it should be. And you're going to have some outliers, 6 for over 245. But to me, the pitch clock has been the greatest innovation, I think, of my generation.
It's amazing. Agreed. It's amazing that baseball's gotten beat up so much for everything. But baseball's the one sport that every innovation worked. No shifts worked. I like the reliever has to face 3 guys. That speeds up the game. The pitch clock's fantastic. And JJ and I talked about the ABS system this year. I didn't think I'd like it. It's been fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's fast. It's quick. It's authoritative. You can tell ball strike. And so I think baseball's made more good changes than any sport. I mean, now. If the dissenting vote can be, well, baseball is more screwed up than every other sport and took too long, so it needed to make more good changes. But I think it did.
I'll get in the weeds on 2 points. One, the financial disparity.
Yeah,
that's probably on the road to getting fixed, but it may cost them a whole season.
I think it might cost them a season, and I don't know if it'll be a true cap, but it'll be the closest thing to a cap and a floor that baseball has ever had, and that drives me crazy too. I'm with you on that.
And the other thing I looked up today is the ball is not in play enough. And back in 2006, all 30 teams had at least a 255 batting average. Right now, 7 teams do.
Yeah.
So the spin rate, the power pitcher, I think there should be – right now the pitchers are too good. And you look at your fantasy team, it's like, okay, this guy's hitting 210, yet he's being started by 90% of the teams.
Yeah, batting average is now a loss. Nobody cares about it. And I'm like you now. To me, the crime in all of it is velo. Mm-hmm. Everybody's chasing velo. Every pitcher now throws 96, 97. A lot of them throw 100. And I've said this forever. And I talked to somebody at the ballpark after I said it on the air last week. I tend to say things over and over, in case you didn't know. But I talked to someone at the ballpark. What changed the sport is calling, and it's the real strike zone, by the way. They're calling the book strike zone. But I promise you, when I'm growing up, the ball at the letters wasn't a strike. Now technically, the strike zone is top of the knees to the armpit, so it is a strike. If you let Nolan Ryan have that pitch, nobody would have even fouled one off. If Nolan Ryan you allowed him to have the ball called a strike, he could keep throwing the ball at the letters, no one would have hit him. I mean, no one would have ever hit him. But because that was called a ball, you had to get down in the zone where you could drop the barrel and hit it. So I'm like you. I wish there was more bunting. I wish there was more small ball. I wish the ball was in play more. I totally agree. I've seen enough strikeouts and home runs. I've seen enough of that. But, and a point JJ makes on a regular basis, it must be working because more people are watching it. More people are coming to the game. So I'm an old school guy, but I think that stuff's working, Ryan. I do.
Yeah, and one thing that concerns, if I was a real diehard baseball fan, just this week you have Scoobo going underneath the surgery.
Well, that's we have that talk all the time. They're all going.
Yeah.
Apparently, his isn't as serious as you'd think.
He's probably not a true Tommy John. That's right.
It's like loose bodies or whatever. He should be back in a couple months.
But your point's right. Keep going because where you're going with the point is correct.
And you look at Carlos Correa out for the season, torn tendon in his ankle, which he had problems with. But to me, it's almost like you expect the Tommy John, you became so immune to it now, and it shouldn't be that way because that is a 18-month injury, and Garrett Cole is still working his way back.
100%.
So to me, it's okay. What is happening at the lower levels? Well, they're pitching too much. They're relying on their curveballs too early, and I think they come to college as damaged goods. And I don't think some of the college coaches, as we'll see in the World Series, are handling their pitchers well.
Oh, they treat the college. You see these kids in college; they throw insane amounts.
128 pitches the other day.
Pitchers don't, or the coaches don't care.
Yeah, I'll say this. They used to think the curveball too early was the problem. I always grew up believing that when we coached.
That's what they always told us.
Yeah.
As kids.
But now
I think that's crap.
Yeah, well, they've now found out that the problem is the velo and the year-round baseball. The problem is year-round baseball. And listen, I have a baseball charity. We have travel tournaments there, and they fund my ability or our ability to have little kids play baseball that ordinarily couldn't. So I appreciate it. But the year-round sports stuff, that's the thing. Kids are throwing 12 months a year.
I wish they would throw more off speed.
Yeah.
It would probably be better on their arms.
Yeah, sure it would. I mean, there's no question. But they're chasing velo. They're playing year-round. But so for a health of the game, that can't be good. But again, I'll go back to what you said, JJ. And as much as I argue with you and I argue all we want about the cap, and I'm never going to budge and you're never going to budge, but one point you've made is true. They're not losing fans. They're gaining them.
And
ratings are better.
One thing I do want changed money-wise is the deferred money that the Dodgers are able to do is total crap. I mean, I never want a hard salary cap in baseball. It's just it's totally different than football. With the minor league system, we have teams like the Rays who always compete, stuff like that. And I don't want to get away from that. I think that we have had, the Dodgers the last couple of years, but we've had just as many World Series winners as the NFL does. They have a hard cap. I just don't want to see that, and I definitely don't want to see us lose a year of baseball with all this momentum. But the deferred money that the Dodgers abuse has to change.
And I do think we are going to lose the year, and I do think we'll be closer. And by the way, for people that follow it, the cap and the floor are pretty close together. Mm-hmm. It's not like you're going to have your cap's going to be 220 and your floor is going to be 80. It doesn't work like that. So baseball is really going to push for that. I don't know that we're going to completely get that, but I think we're going to get closer to it. I really believe we're going to get closer to it than we've ever been.
If you had to make a prediction, are there games July 4th, 2027?
That's a good date.
Ask me about June 4th. Mm-hmm. June 4th, my answer is no. Okay? June 4th, my answer is no.
Yeah.
July 4th.
Because now you're compromising the season. Past that.
I would say 50-50, but if you're going to put me on the spot, I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say no. If you put me on the spot, I'll say no. June 4th, I'll confidently say no.
Mm-hmm.
July 4th, regardless of who wins, you would think at that point they come to their senses. But I will tell you, we'll see if it happens, but the salary cap proponents, the equity of spending, regardless of whether it's a cap, however they do it, the people that are proponents of equity of spending have maintained that for the first time they're not budging. Now we'll see. We've heard people aren't budging before and they budge, right? But for the first time,
and we know the players don't budge.
Yeah.
Not in baseball.
So we'll see whether or not they've said for the first time ever, the equity of spending can see. By the way, the problem with not having a salary cap, if you're like me, that you want one, it's not the rich owners that are the problem.
Yeah,
the
your
cheap,
hardliners.
The cheap ass Pirates owners don't want a salary cap because they don't want the floor.
Exactly.
So it's the truth. And so the A's and the Royals they've voted against it, even though it would clearly give their team a more even chance to win.
Well, we had this discussion over the last 10 minutes about the pluses of baseball right now. I just hope they're not so stupid they don't cut themselves off at the kneecaps.
Yeah.
And, can they still get a 100-game season in next year so there's not an asterisk on the World Series champion?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's an asterisk. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they lose the season, even the whole season. But I do think this. I think wherever they land, the beauty of baseball is it will always survive. There's a charm to baseball, the way it's played. Baseball's connection with its fan base is different. It's not like football fans who are so ravenous that they lose their minds. It's the charm and romance of going to the game. Football doesn't have charm.
And it's like it's your whole summer.
Right.
It's an every night thing. It's like an addiction on
Football is an obsession, and you're crazed, and you want your team so bad, and if your fantasy team loses, you're in a bad mood, and if this happens, baseball's different. Baseball, there's a charm and a romance to the experience. There's the hot dog and the beer and the fact that you've sat in that seat forever and that your uncle comes in for Poughkeepsie and in the middle of June every year, you take him to 3 games. I don't think baseball will ever lose that. That's why baseball is the only sport that can thrive at the non-major league level. Nobody else can. Mm-hmm. Baseball can. So I don't think it'll ever lose that, but it's going to change significantly.
I've had hockey players ask me, what's it like at an NFL building after a loss? I said, sky's falling. And they're like, really?
Correct.
I was like,
correct.
I said, 80 games, 16 games, 160, 16. So it's a different, you almost have to retrain your brain, but that's what makes football the soap opera part of that.
No question about it. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us on 1010
The
XL.
Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jacksonville Sports, 24/7. Your teams, your town, on your time. The 1010XL network is here. Find 1010XL at 1010XL.
If you're still looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift, surprise mom with a fresh baked box of gourmet cookies from Cookie Fix in San Marco. Crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside. Stop by Cookie Fix in San Marco today to make her day sweeter.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building. So now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Maybe you have concerns about putting your home on the market and getting it sold. Well, let me alleviate those for you. There's a real quick solution. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold or they will buy it. Call 414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. You'll find out for yourself. Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home or mine. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Anthony and Mary in Palmco said, we needed to sell our home to move closer to family, but low cash offers weren't cutting it. Since we'd only bought a year earlier, options felt limited, but not for Chad and Sandy. Call Chad and Sandy today, or log on to chadandsandy.com.
Hey, it's Greg. When you work at this radio station, you tend to hear the Awaken 180 stories all the time from Hacker, Matt, Amber, and tons of our listeners. Well, for years, I've been saying I need to do it, but I can do it on my own. Or let me just get through the season, I'll do it next month. And you know what? That hasn't been working. So when they said lose 40 by the 4th, something clicked. So I did it. And last week, I started the Awaken 180 Lose 40 by the 4th plan. And I'm telling you, it's even easier than I expected. I've got my coach, Mandy, so I'm not guessing anymore. And they lay everything out in a concrete plan guiding my steps. And for me, this is bigger than just losing weight. I want to move better, feel better. I want to walk parks and music festivals without feeling it the next day. Just live better. So right now, this is the window. Lose 40 by the 4th, but you've got to start now to get there. I've stopped making excuses, and I'm going to be accountable for the next 2 months by telling you how it goes. So let's do it together. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the ViStar Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's Grease Night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a Pink Lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, a golden moment today. Our friend Lee Smith stopped by. Does a great job talking golf, as he always does. The best golf analyst around. So we appreciate Lee stopping by. We talked all about certainly Charlotte this week, and then the obviously the major run starts again next week with the PGA. Shinnecock is the home for the U.S. Open about a month later. So a lot of golf talk with the best in the business, my friend Lee Smith, who is the executive director of the Players Championship. Stanley Pools Thursday, we continue along. Frank Frangie along with Ryan O'Halloran and J.J. LaSelva. The Jags have signed some draft
They've
picks.
signed 9 of their 10 picks.
What do you got for me?
So everybody except for the first one.
Which is what happens.
Which is what happened with this rookie wage scale. So they got him into town today. I'm sure they did their physicals and stuff. Here's the contract, sign them. And that's what happens these days. So everybody is under contract. They'll probably announce the undrafted guys later today or tomorrow, officially signed. But so they're all good to go.
What will you watch on Saturday? We'll all be out there Saturday to watch. And what are you going to have your eyes on?
Well, I hope they're outside. Either way, it's basically a passing camp. So you look at the tight ends. How are they moving around? The other thing I'll look at is who's actually participating. James Gladstone said a couple weeks ago, probably not Josh Cameron with the left ankle. So see how he's coming along.
Right.
And then the third thing is, some of these first-year players are eligible to be out there who were on the practice squad last year, depending on their experience level. So who's going to take advantage of that opportunity and be out there for practice?
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm pulling up the weather on the weather.com app because it's never wrong. And it looks like might be okay for Saturday afternoon, right? At first, we thought there was going to be rain earlier, and the rain has kind of held off a little bit. So weather.com could never be wrong. Now it's kind of backed it up to Monday's the big rain day.
Okay.
So we may have a chance to see it. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. Number one, I like football practice. It's fun to watch.
Guys in helmets.
Yeah. And I'm a little bit, not that it'll ever factor here, obviously, but I'm a little bit intrigued to watch Joey Aguilar throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
I watch because again, it's a guy I watched in college. A guy you watched a lot. He was as I know you know, still a crazy story. This is a guy that went to Appalachian State. He transferred in the portal like they all do to UCLA to be the UCLA quarterback until Nico Iamaleava, or however you say it, transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. At which point Aguilar said, "All right, I'll go from UCLA back to Tennessee."
I mean, I'm sure there are bigger examples of guys getting the shaft.
Yeah,
this was one of them.
Yeah,
because he did a couple of JUCOs in California, then App State, then UCLA, Power 4, what I've worked for.
Yeah.
Then they go get a guy at the deadline or whatever. So,
right. But he wound up going to a way better program.
Yeah, and I will say, and you probably have heard the same thing. Carter Bradley has a lot of support in that building.
Yeah.
He made an impression last year, so this is not an automatic thing. I mean, they're going to compete in training camp to be that practice squad guy, but I Carter's been in town the whole offseason, so I don't write him off as far as his chance.
And Carter Bradley apparently has a big arm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, apparently he can. He can. I mean, he's got a big throwing arm, you know. So there's no. I mean, probably has a stronger arm than Nick Mullins. And as far as just arms, then Nick Mullins knows how to play, and he's your backup because he understands, and he's a good dude and respected dude. But as far as just pure arm strength, probably Carter Bradley's got the second best arm strength in the QB room.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, that's the one player I'm totally biased for.
Yeah.
So
we all are,
because
we all are.
There were a couple, like it was me and Mark Long talking to Carter in the locker room last year, and one of the other reporters says, "Hey, you seem to be talking to the guy a lot," and Carter goes, "Well, they've known me since I was 12."
That's right. Yeah, and by the way, his dad's an all-world good guy. He's Gus Bradley's son. For people that don't know it, circle back very quickly to our conversation about the 24-game playoff and whatnot. I did not. Shame on me for not realizing. I didn't realize that FSU and Georgia had a home and home scheduled. Now look, maybe FSU won't be resuscitated enough to make that would not have been resuscitated enough to make that thing interesting anyway.
Although they made Bama interesting last year.
They sure did. But I would have loved to have seen that. They canceled it before I knew they had it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. They claim they're working on a neutral site.
A one-game neutral site thing,
So I looked at Florida State. I mean, this is a clearing of the decks for a 9-game league schedule, but FSU right now, 27, home to East Tennessee State at Florida. The next year, all they got is Florida on the schedule.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to do an FCS school, and then maybe a Big 12, maybe they get to UCF, but that's the wave right now. And Georgia, look at Georgia in 2030's got some work to do, because right now they got Clemson, Ohio State, and Georgia Tech on their schedule.
Yeah.
So who are they going to drop?
Wow,
because they can't play all of them.
But
that's, to me, you're going to see.
They're not dropping Georgia Tech.
Clemson, Ohio State, and Georgia Tech. Wow.
I saw that. All these teams are dropping them, like Ryan said. Miami and South Carolina did. They were supposed to play this year. Florida dropped Arizona State, maybe it was.
That's
yeah.
correct. They dropped Cal before that.
Yeah, but Ohio State and Alabama are doing the right thing. They're keeping their series. They play in a couple years, home and home. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, well, what helps those two schools is they don't have that in-state rival that is
out of conference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Florida State should always play. Georgia Tech,
and they're going to.
Clemson, South Carolina. Those are safe. But what you're going to find is, Florida 2027, South Alabama, Charleston, Southern Florida State.
Yeah.
Is that the way we're going?
Well, it is the way.
Unfortunately,
it is the way we're going because of the 9 conference games and so many wins you need and whatnot. I'm not going to do this now because I'm going to do it on our show tomorrow. And I know we touched on this the last time you were in with me, but I'm going to ask you tomorrow to give me your opinion, a roadmap for the Seminoles.
Okay.
What Florida State? I mean, obviously Florida State's in a bad way, right? And so we've all said that they're in a bit of a bad way. But listen, their fans have to have reason to get excited too. If your president, chancellor, AD, whoever, what would you? Again, don't do it now. We'll do it on tomorrow's show. But the roadmap for the Seminoles, because I'll say this. And I've followed Florida State closely, and I've said it many times. The run they had from '87 to early 2000s, one of the most amazing runs I've ever seen. 14 straight years in the top 4.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Whew. But I mean, it's amazing. I mean, 14 straight years and finished in the top 4. But I will say this, and look, they were down at the end of the Bowden era. They were down a few years. Obviously, Willie Taggart was terrible. But it feels as low to me now as it did in the 70s, even before Rick Ballou knew he was going there.
I mean, we're a Florida State family. Florida State won the 93 championship. My brother, who's a year younger than me, says, that's where I want to go to college. So he did, from North Dakota to Florida State.
I didn't know that. Your brother went to FSU?
Yeah, worked in the athletic department for Rob Wilson for 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Jeff Puritan was his roommate.
How did I not know? How did that not come across my desk?
So Florida State's been on our radar. They're irrelevant in our family.
So your brother roomed with Puritan?
Yep. So they met each other in the athletic department. They became close friends. And then also Chris Wenke was in their house last year.
Well, Puritan and Wenke are best friends.
So I mean, I was at the Florida State-Florida game in '96.
Okay.
In Tallahassee, work-done game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Florida won the rematch in the Sugar Bowl. So that's why I've always sort of paid attention to Florida State. And every time you think they've gotten there, they go backward. When they won it all with Jameis.
Yeah.
Backward. But I'm glad you mentioned Taggart. That just sets a program back so much. Florida's dealing with that right now.
And there's no question, Jill. You're exactly right. Let's take a break. We'll say hello to Rick Ballou. He'll have a thought or two about that after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking at the latest odds for the NBA championship, the Oklahoma City Thunder -170 to repeat as champions and claim the Larry O'Brien Trophy, while the San Antonio Spurs are +360. The Knicks, the best bet out of the Eastern. The Knicks are the best bet out of the Eastern Conference. New York +900 to win the championship. The Detroit Pistons are +1700. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Pistons' opponent in round 2, +3500, and the Lakers are +5000 to win the NBA title. In the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche, the favorites to win the Stanley Cup at +165. Carolina +170.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, yeah, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour, Saturday, May 16th, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Hey, poker players, let's ride to the riches. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new all-terrain side-by-side vehicle and cash prizes during the Ride to the Riches promotion. From May 1st through August 7th, every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a top-of-the-line side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beard's Diamonds? The team at Beard's has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beard's makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beard's. Beard's Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My boss
False thoughts are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
I thank our friends from Stanley Pools. They do a great job, no question about it. I'm going to see you in the morning, Ryan. I appreciate you're going to come out and watch we have had walk-off charities. We started it in 2017. It's in our 9th year. Now we've put about 13,000 kids through our various programs, including leagues and teams. But the hallmark of what we do are our clinics we do in conjunction with the Duval County Public School System. We do it with field trips from Title I schools, around 200 kids per field trip and per clinic. We've done it for 9 years. We have hit 10,000 kids reached, and we're going to have our clinic. It's going to be a big clinic for us tomorrow. A lot of people are going to come and watch the clinic, and it's just the fact that we've never had 10,000 kids. And you're going to come. And I appreciate you coming out. What?
Big speech time?
No speech. No one speech. It's just a clinic. It's just a clinic. I do some of our friends from the media are going to come out and watch the kids. No speech, no podium. No, it's nothing like that. It's just a normal clinic. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I appreciate you coming out because I'm excited.
Yeah, and it'll be good to get over there. I have not seen that facility. Here's in my neck of the woods down here on the south side.
Very close. Yeah.
So yeah, you promised me a hot dog.
Yeah. Well, you had to beat it out of me. I mean, Ryan said,
I don't need a glove.
Ryan said, do I get a hot dog? I said, do I have to answer now? And so you don't get a glove, but you get the hot dog. Every kid gets a hot dog and a glove. You get the hot dog. No question about it. Let's say a little Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
I want to go right to the Dominican and play that golf course.
Oh, it was great.
It looked fantastic. How long were you there?
There for what, 5 days?
Yeah.
It was resort style golf course, so it was very friendly.
You played twice?
I shot 83s both times and didn't cheat.
There you go.
Cheated a little bit, but didn't cheat the way I normally
It wasn't
cheat.
a normal cheat.
I mean, I roll up the ball. If I'm on a divot, I'm going to find beautiful grass.
So have you been there before? Is that when you've gone through that?
No, I've been to Santo Domingo. This is the first time I went to Punta Canta.
Okay.
And it was nice.
That's awesome. So. Yeah, that's all the pictures online. I'm going to go play. You live large, though. I know the large livers like you.
It was great. As soon as I walked in, man, they had Eddie Money at the Hard Rock said 2 tickets to paradise. And when I went in, they started jamming the Flock of Seagulls Space Age Love song.
How about that?
And they had free Dominican water, which is Presidente and Presidente Light. It was just outstanding.
Florida State, Georgia. When they play that neutral site game, we know who will be coaching the Bulldogs. Who will be coaching the Seminoles?
Manny Diaz. I'd love to say Deion Sanders, but he's got health problems, and others going to say he can't coach. I disagree. You bring him here, you give him full autonomy, cash, let him hire the best coaches around, let him go recruit the best players around with the NIL. I put Deion on there.
I can see Manny there.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that till you said it. Yeah.
Manny was in the media with me at Florida State.
Yeah.
When
he's
I was
a better
there.
coach now than he's ever been.
He is.
Yeah,
I mean, if you win at Duke, that says something. So, but
all right.
By the way, I love Florida State on the road against Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know why they canceled that. I mean, they've been road warriors.
No question. Yeah, Georgia wouldn't have. They'd be fine against Georgia. Look, they beat Alabama, for God's sake. I mean, Alabama didn't want any of that. Did they? You'll be at the Jaguar minicamp on Saturday?
Yes, I will. Yeah,
what are you going to watch? What are you looking forward to watching?
I'm looking for speed.
Yeah.
And that was really the theme a year ago. So, we'll see what ends up transpiring. We get an opportunity to watch him work on Saturday.
What's coming up tonight?
I'm going to continue with the party. Here's why. Red Sox have won 3 in a row.
Okay.
And I just received the tip that all Boston Bruins and all Boston Celtics have an aggregate golf score of 84 after a weekend round and into the late week round. They're all playing golf, Cancun,
they're all done.
wherever.
They're all
over the
done.
place because there's no
done.
more playoffs
There's
in
no
Boston.
more play for either one of them. Thank you, Rick. Rick Ballou goes into the night. That is right now. Ryan O'Halloran will be back with me tomorrow one last time before Hayes Carlin comes back. Ryan, great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick Ballou is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Here's another classic Florida Gator moment.
The winner of this year's Heisman Trophy is Tim Tebow.
I'd like to thank my teammates. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, and I'm accepting this trophy on behalf of them.
1010XL, home of the Florida Gators.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
You know Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. The zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean.